this video, it's a short version in English of the video I posted a few days ago about bloody 9th of May, when Putin insulted and basically destroyed the memory of the heroes who fought and fall during the World War II, and the Russians call it Great Patriotic War. This is what it is about. Why it would be shorter than the Russian version? It's because Canadians already know many of stuff I have to say. Basically, in Soviet Union, who was part of anti-Hitler coalition and fought a big war with Nazi Germany, and it basically for Russians symbolized the end of war in Europe with Hitler's Nazi Germany in 1945. Most of the world celebrated in 8th of May. Russians decided to make their own holiday on May 9th. A little bit of history of the celebration. I grew up in USSR. The pain of that war was so alive to us, partly because we met a lot of war veterans. A lot. And they all were alive. Many of them were alive at the time. Lots of war veterans were alive when I grew up. They came to schools, they talked to us, we grew up with them around. When I was in university, we had a hero of Soviet Union, gentleman teaching us the military something defense. And it was civil engineering university. So we met the people who really fought in the war with Nazi Germany. We have relatives who fought in the war, and that culture is alive in Russia. All of them, all the veterans who I talked to, and I talked to many, they were deeply, deeply sad and upset when they were talking about war. They was remembering people who died in the war, they remembering their friends. And the rhetoric there was, it should never ever happen again. We must learn from it. We must never allow this to happen again. And that's how I grew up. The people who fought in that war, there were so many of them. On the military parades on every 9th of May, streets were full of them. They were wearing their medals, full chest of them. They were talking about meeting on Elba River with allies, and they didn't like to talk much about war. Many of them don't even tell their families all that much because they were so deeply upset about that, and they definitely didn't want it repeated. And 9th of May was one of the big holidays in USSR, and also as big was 1st of May, which was a Labor Day, and it was about solidarity of comrades, working people of all over the world. It was political holiday. Huge holiday is New Year in Russia. Christmas wasn't celebrated at the time because it was a religious holiday, and USSR was pretending it's not a new religion, it's a atheistic country and it's against religion. Which in fact Soviet Union was practically a totalitarian religious sect, a religious cult, I would say. If you look at definitions of the cults, you will find lots of similarity there. Lots of trust to the leader knows the best, and so on. Situation changed quite a bit, so that was a big holidays in USSR. And 9th of May, Victory Day they call it, and they were celebrating it not quite like in Canada, it's like Remembrance Day, mostly remembering the fallen heroes, and definitely wanted it's never happen again. Soviet Union was more like happy about their victory over Nazi Germany, pumping their chest, but still it was a lot about fallen comrades and people who died during the war. What changed? Putin came to power and started slowly, step by step, taking the power in his own personal hands. He became a czar, basically, right now. He played on Russian, partly on that people didn't openly discuss crimes of Soviet Union. They deeply thought that Soviet Union destroyed by somebody outside, not because you know why Soviet Union get collapsed, partly because that's an efficient economy. It's basically cardboard economy which is supported by the government, partly because of the arm race which they trying to overrun efficient economies of a bunch of Western countries, and they just couldn't do it because it was totalitarian state, a dictatorship. Soviet Union never had socialism or communism, as many people here believe. It's a lie. They never had it. They always was a dictatorship, and they are a dictatorship now. And now Putin is a czar. He changed the constitution, Russian constitution. Now he can stay in power indefinitely. He changed and imply a whole bunch of laws in Russia to stay in power and to be able to squash any resistance whatsoever, whatever he wants. About that, I'll probably make another video. This video will be short, and it would be about 9th of May, about Victory Day in Russia. This year, and in the past, many foreign leaders showed up and came to Soviet Union to celebrate together the victory over Nazism. But there is lots of statistics showing since 1995 that it's reducing in somewhere in the time. The last year, one person was from abroad. That's it. Why? Because Putin changing history. Putin started to play historian, started to lie more and more to Russian people, started to make sure Russian people don't know much about history of USSR. Full history, not whatever Soviet Union was teaching. We wasn't taught that Nazi Germany was trying to avoid sanctions and Treaty of Versailles through Russia, through Soviet Union, training their troops in Soviet territories. Soviet Union was supporting them by providing food, providing fuel to their tanks, providing exercises for their tanks on Soviet territory. That by signing the pact with Hitler, Stalin and Hitler divided Poland, with a formulating it like, what's gonna happen with Poland later? Soviet Union and Germany will decide between themselves, and nobody gonna ask Poland. Who cares what Poland think? This was wrong. So basically, Stalin and Soviet Union throw the Europe under the bus of Germany at the time. Yet it happens that Germany and Hitler decided to attack USSR instead, not the Europe. Lots of achievements of the Allies wasn't taught in Soviet Union. It kinda known, but you have to look for that information, and it's not. People heard of Lend-Lease, and that's roughly about it. Many people nowadays know. After Gorbachev came to power, lots of crimes of USSR was exposed. Even Khrushchev exposed one of the leaders of USSR after Stalin, who exposed Stalin crimes. And that was a huge blow up. Soviet society was divided, Soviet society was shocked. Even they knew the people disappearing from the streets. But look at the losses in World War II. 27 to 30 million of Russians and Soviets, Soviet people, all 14 republics plus Russia, 15 republics of USSR, were fighting Nazi Germany. It wasn't Russia alone. And that is why I was just shocked and outraged to see the information on Russian embassy website in Canada. I'll talk about it probably separately. When saying almost Russia did it alone, USSR wasn't even, other republics of USSR wasn't even basically mentioned. Neither was mentioned foreign allies. This is wrong. It should not be done that way. It's not true. Sorry, I have to finish filming on different day. Unfortunately, my battery in the camera died last time. I just wanted to finish my thought about Victory Day in Russia, May 9th, which Russians celebrating on May 9th, as I said. What has shocked me the most at the time, it's the hypocritical, disgusting behavior of Russian President Vladimir Putin when on the military parade during celebration of the Victory Day, basically during the time when he was saying about sacrifice, about the war and victory over Nazi Germany, and he was putting flowers to the eternal fire, or I don't know how it's called in English, the fire which always burning in memory of people who were lost in the war. And at the same time, his troops was bombing Odessa. Odessa, it's a city port in Ukraine, and it's the fourth city in Soviet Union, because Ukraine at the time was a republic within one of 15 republics of USSR. Odessa was awarded the Hero City title. It's for outstanding bravery of the city during World War II. Like we had people awarded Hero of the Soviet Union, 2 medals. It mean that person had done something outstanding. He was very brave during the war, and the same stuff was going on about cities. If the city was outstanding, bravely withstand the fight with Nazi Germany, they were awarded the title Hero City. And one of those hero cities, fourth in fact, was city Odessa. So Putin's forces bombing a hero city Odessa as well as other places in Ukraine at the same time when he was talking about the World War II. This is disgusting, and I truly believe that, well, I know the facts. Within different videos I'll show some of them with you. It's about USSR and about Russia and about war in Ukraine. I will share more and more with you, but the facts are that Putin's in his country, Russia, and my country at the same time, started the war in Ukraine in 2014, unprovoked, and that war was going on ever since. But the most campaign they started in February of 2022, and it is not a special operation as he called it. It's a full-blown war, and people in English-speaking countries in the free world, they know about that, and some Russians still did not, but many Russians do, and many Russians don't support Putin on that. And my heart is with them. They also suffering, not as much as Ukrainians, of course, but it's painful to see your country turning into Nazi Germany, and this is awful. Putin must be stopped. As Russian citizen, I demand his impeachment and trial. And as the people of other countries should not believe his propaganda whatsoever. Nothing was coming, which is coming from official media of Russia, isn't true. It is lie. Putin lying all the time. He cannot be trusted. He should be arrested and charged as a war criminal. That's where I stand. Thank you very much for your attention. My channel called Enough because every video is about enough of something. This is enough of Putin lies, enough of death of Ukrainians, enough of death of Russian soldiers in Ukraine. Putin should stop the war in Ukraine immediately. And if he doesn't, even if he does, he's still a war criminal and he should be charged, impeached and charged with war crimes. And so is all the soldiers and officers of Russian army who committed, or any army who committed war crimes. I don't think it's applicable too much to Ukrainian army, but maybe one or two soldiers or whatever did something wrong when they have to be responsible as well. But so far, before Russia attacked Ukraine in 2014, nobody was bombing anybody in Ukraine. People wasn't dying from bombs and people wasn't dying from war because there was no war, period. And this was started Putin by attacking Crimea, pretending it's not his troops there, by sending his advisors and KGB officers to make unrest in so-called nowadays Donetsk and Lugansk republics. They're not accepted in the world, but that's what they call themselves. It's all started from Putin and from his activities, from his people doing all of this, organizing, giving people weapons, teaching them how to take the government buildings and so on. And all what started, it's all his fault. It's all Putin's fault. And whatever happened after that, it's his fault as well. So enough of Putin, enough of his lies, enough of war in Ukraine. Thank you for your attention. This is my opinion. It's based on facts. You're welcome to make your own opinion and verify the facts I'm providing in videos on this channel and on every channel I have. Thank you very much.